All right. My name is Sam Veigele. I'm the head golf professional at the Ranch Country Club in Westminster, Colorado. And I run the golf operation, the day-to-day member relations, making sure everyone enjoys the golf course, comes out, has a good time. And I also manage all the tournaments that we do, whether it's member tournaments or outside events, make sure everything runs smoothly and everyone comes out, enjoys their time, and those tournaments go off without a hitch. And some of them are fundraisers, some of them are competitive events, but no matter what they are, we try to do a good job and make sure everyone's out there enjoying golf, having fun, and getting out in the fresh air. We have worked with Colorado Under Par quite a few times at the Ranch Country Club, and there's a couple ways that it works on our end. Is we have a list of events that we've hosted throughout the years that we love to have come back, and a lot of those events don't always have people that have run golf events or even big events before, and a lot of those we can reference back to Andrew and his team at Colorado Under Par, and they can kind of work with them to make the event the best that it can possibly be. A lot of these events have boards of directors that love to put on these either fundraising events or charity events or different things of that, and a lot of them are golfers, but a lot of them have not run events before, and there's a big difference there. Sometimes we reference these events to Andrew and he can help them and run a great tournament. Other ones that we have hosted, Andrew's come to us and see if we want to be the host facility for them, and he's just an intermediary that helps them put on the best show that they can put on. And obviously we're there to help as well. Being the host facility and putting on a good show is what we're there to do. So Andrew and his team have worked with the Ranch Country Club for about 4 or 5 years now, running a lot of events. I have been on board here at the ranch for about a year, so I've only worked with Andrew and his team for the last year and looking forward to the coming years, especially this summer. But those first interactions with Andrew and his team is really meeting. They come to our facility to see the space for their event, and we work with them on every aspect. And the great part about his team and him specifically being at the Ranch Country Club multiple times throughout the years, he has an idea in his head how he'd like it to run from his end, from our end, from the events end for the players. And it's great to work with him because he's run so many of these events, and being at a facility that we've hosted them quite a few times, it makes it run a lot smoother. We know the little intimate details that need to be taken care of. We've seen what has happened in the past, whether it's wonderful or things that we can work on and opportunities that we have to improve on. And each year that we're there and each year we can continue to work with these partners, it just makes it a better experience for everyone involved, from our end, from his end, from the golfer's end. And that's what we're looking for when we work with these teams, is making sure that we put on the best show possible and making sure we improve each and every year that we host these events. One of the great parts of working with Andrew and his team is that they've done so many of these events that they know things can go wrong, things can go awry a little bit, no matter how prepared you are. But the great thing about working with these teams and people that have run these before is that they're flexible. And that's the biggest thing. When anything pops up that we weren't expecting or changes need to be made on the fly, anything that comes up that we weren't prepared for, they're the easiest ones to work with because they've seen so much stuff and they know you can roll with the punches a little bit and still put on a great show. And really only a couple people know something happened. Everyone else still has a great time. And I'm sure that's happened at many of the other events that he's been a part of and his team's been a part of. But luckily it doesn't happen too often. But when it does, it just keeps rolling and it's an easy fix. Working with Andrew and his team here at the ranch is a great experience, not only just for our end, but for anyone looking to put on a great event. From the very start, they're able to take over and not only promote the event, but also raise a lot of money, get signups for it, and get it sold out, get people interested in it a lot faster than they do on their own. Running these events on their own is a lot of work, takes a lot of time, and Andrew and his team have figured out how to do that for you, make it a seamless process so that you can worry about the other things and he can worry about signups, raising money, putting on a great show. And that's the beginning step that his team does great. And then once it's in the process, they take it all the way to the end. Working with us here at the golf course, working with yourselves, with the players, they're just able to handle every facet of a golf tournament or any event that you want to put on. So being a golf professional, most of my job is, especially in the summertime, is running events. tournaments, putting on those big golf events for not only our members, but for outside events. And it takes a lot of time, from creating the event, deciding what you want to do, getting players to play in it, all the way through to collecting payment, running the event itself, whether it has scoring with it, it's competitive, or if it's just a fun event. No matter what it is, it takes up the majority of my time. And if that's your full-time job, putting on an event, and you've been tasked with that, whether it's golf or any event, and that's your sole priority, then you're in a good spot. But a lot of people that work for different companies, that work for charities, that's not their only job, is putting on these events to raise money, to raise an event. And the process of it takes the majority of your time. And Andrew and his team are a huge asset for anyone that is not a golf professional, or that is their sole priority, is putting on events. You have a lot of stuff going on, and Andrew's able to take it over from the very first step to the last. And the biggest thing is, even if you have run events in the past and it's raised, take over and actually put in the full effort that is needed to raise even more money. And if this is your first year doing it, it can set the expectation for that event as being one of the best that it could possibly be. Your event participation, the amount of money that can be raised, the amount of enjoyment that it has in comparison to other events that they've been at before. This can be the best event that you can possibly put on because of Andrew and his team. And you will have a huge win by bringing them in compared to just running it by yourself. If this is your first time running a golf event or putting it on, either for your company or charity or for yourself even, if this is your first time, there's a lot of things that you need to know. The biggest thing is just take a breath each step of the process. Realize that, hey, there's a lot going on with this event. There's so much more than you could ever imagine. But take a breath. Realize you don't have to rush through everything. But there are a few things that you should know. Is number one is making sure that you're paying attention to the little things, as far as how many people are actually going to play. If it's a huge number of players, great, that's awesome. But you also need a lot more people helping out, a lot more volunteers. And with that, you'll need a lot of golf carts. Not a lot of golf courses have unlimited supply of golf carts. So that's one thing to really pay attention to, is making sure that you have the correct number, because it does cost quite a bit of money if we have to rent some, but you need them for your players, you need them for your staff, you need them for random jobs that you didn't even cross your mind, moving stuff around the course. And that's something to pay attention to, is how many people are going to come to your event. And if it's a big number of people and you see it selling out right away, you might take a note for next time that you might want to raise the cost of the event, or the price that teams pay, because that's the easiest way to raise money in an event, is how much are teams paying to play in it and what kind of experience do they have. If you see an event sell out right away and nobody's questioning the price, then you might have it too low and you might not be raising enough money. You might not be raising as much money as you possibly could. Obviously, people like the event if it's selling out. So that's one thing to think about. The other thing, if this is your first golf event being put on, meet with the facility, meet with the golf professionals. We have run hundreds, thousands of tournaments through our careers. And at most golf courses, those head professionals, those assistant professionals have run a ton of tournaments. Whether they're competitive or charity or event raising, they know what to do. They know what's going on. Ask them questions. Ask their opinions. Ask what they've seen go great, what they haven't seen go great. Learn from them. We're all a team here. We're all putting on events. We're all putting on an experience for everybody and working together. That's the biggest thing, is asking questions, asking from others' experience that you might not have. With being your first time running these events, you should have a lot of questions, and hopefully the facility, the golf professionals can help you along that process. Yeah. So whether it's your first time ever running a golf tournament, or this is your millionth time running it and you've seen success in the past, you can always improve upon it. You can always raise more money. You can always put on a better experience. You can always make it more fun. And a big way to do that is working with others, not only the facility that you're going to be hosting it at, not only the golf professionals, but reaching out to people that do this all the time. And Andrew and his team are those people. They're the ones that can not only run these events for you, but bring up new ideas. They've seen hundreds of these events and know what can go wrong, what can go great, what works wonderful for some may not work great for others. So working with those people that have that experience, that have seen those things, is huge. That is a huge opportunity for your event to succeed more than it ever has. And even working with his team here at the Ranch Country Club, we run ideas off of each other and learn from each other. That's all it is. Learning how to put on a better show, how to put on a better event, raise more money. It's all interconnected, and the more you can work with other people that have that experience, that know more about these events, the better you're going to be, the more successful you're going to be. And that's what we try to do every single day. The more that you can do on your own puts a lot of pressure on you and a lot of stress on you. And Andrew and his team are the ones that can take that stress away. They can make this the best event that you can possibly run and as stress-free as you want it to be. And I highly recommend that working with them and working with great facilities is where your events can improve and become the best that they can possibly be.